Hey everyone, I'm Annie Dickerson with Goodegg Investments, and I'm here to welcome you to a very, very special edition of the Life and Money Show, where we are reporting live from RoomCon, the Real Estate Wealth Builders Conference in St. Louis, Missouri. And I'm here with a very special guest, as well as my co-host, Susan Elliott. So we're going to start with Susan. Susan, before we reveal our special guest, tell our audience a little bit about your experience, because this is your first time.
Exactly. Yeah, my first time at RoomCon, and really my first time at a real estate conference of this size. I went to a pretty smaller one in the beginning when I started my journey, and I was an active investor, and I've just evolved and changed so much. But it was a pivotal event in the beginning, so I was so looking forward to this, because it was like hitting a little bit of a reset, connecting with people in person, in real life, with you, Annie, in real life.
Right.
So
We start to see each other, not just on Zoom, but, waist down.
yeah, the pants that Annie wears, I had no idea. Jeans, right? Just like everyone else, if you can believe it. But yeah, so this is my first event. I am so impressed with this show. This venue is phenomenal. My daughter is staying with my parents outside of St. Louis, where they live. So a special treat to get to. She's only 6, so I felt like she couldn't really attend the show with me, but to be able to point it out as she dropped me off at the hotel, and then it's like Candyland, this hotel. So it's been a really great event so far.
Ferris wheel, the aquarium, the ropes course. We got to check some of that stuff out. Can't be all real estate all the time. It's, this is my 3rd year at RoomCon, and my goodness, it has grown. The first year, it was just a small, intimate group, and last year it grew, and now this is massive. It's like a full-on conference, and, the caliber of the people has remained strong year over year, and the quality of the conversations, this is one of the only conferences I go to where you feel the heart and the energy of the people here, and everybody is just here to share. People are doing all sorts of different real estate, and people are always open to collaborate. And so
you can really feel that too. I mean, it's a big event now, but it's like very based in people and community, and there is no ego. I don't know how Dustin, setting that up, was able to manage to create that, but it for sure was from the beginning in his marketing and, bringing together the types of speakers that have that authenticity about them. And just like everybody is here to share and help. It's a great vibe.
Yes. Well, speaking of people and community, we have a very special guest we'd like to introduce you to, Rachael Holland, who's sitting here with us. And Rachael, oh my goodness, you guys are going to love her. She is a longtime member of the Goodegg community. She's a mama of 5 kids.
2 sets of twins.
Under 9. I can't even imagine how you do it, Rachael, but we're going to get into all of that. She's been investing in real estate. She also had a consultancy, which she sold. I was very curious to hear about that process as well. And now she and her family are enjoying the benefits of real estate and that financial freedom. And so, Rachael, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. What an honor to be here.
Yeah, it is so fun to meet the Goodegg community members in person and just talk to people with great energy about themselves. So we appreciate you joining us here for your first ever podcast interview. It's going great.
My inaugural podcast. I love it.
Yeah. So we have talked to, I'm curious, Rachael, because I'm sure your friends and family have been along for the journey, and they've heard about your success. But and I've been in this place where I've tried to share with people, oh, well, I'll teach you how to do it too. But they're like, oh, but I don't want to do work. I just want the end result. What do you think it is that holds people back versus somebody like you who just goes after it? I mean, what do you think it is that some people, they get stuck and they can't move forward? And what advice would you give them?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's fear. People are scared of the unknown. And I still have fear about things. Like, one thing I've taken away from this conference here is that, because I can say it's fear. Guess what? I still have a little bit of fear too. Just the other day, my wife said, when are we going to buy another Airbnb? And I said, we just bought one a year ago in Palm Springs. Now we have 3. Like, I don't know that I want another one. She's like, well, isn't this your full-time job now? I was like, well, yeah, but I don't know that I want all that stress. So, why? It's because it's fear, because I'm scared that I'm going to get so busy again that I'm not going to have time to be a soccer mom. And I love being a soccer mom. I mean, I'm just like driving around in my minivan with my 5 kids. My wife went back to school as a Montessori teacher. So our roles kind of flipped in the last year, you know. Then I was listening to Jean Chatsky, as you guys know very well, her podcast. And guess who was on there? Annie, talking about Goodegg investments and syndications. And I'm thinking, syndications? I know about TV syndications, but what are you talking about? Syndications? So I'm like pausing it, getting out my notebook and like taking notes, going, okay, I need to check this out because I just sold the business. And I had like this, for once in my life, this big, huge pot of cash. I'm like, what are we going to do? So that's how I found you guys and the real estate syndications. I set up a call with Jason and, you know, just started investing with you guys. And right away, I was like, oh my gosh, this is truly passive. So what did I do? Called up my realtor, started selling all my long-term rentals. I'm like, I do not want to deal with the toilets, the termites, the tenants. I am so over this. So every year we've been kind of selling a couple of those. And then my K1 that I get from you guys, I'm paying no taxes on my capital gains because I have these paper losses. So it's like, I just feel like I got so lucky to find you guys and this alternative method to investing.
Yeah. Well, one more question before we move on to the Life and Money Show Spotlight round is, I'm curious, with your 5 kids and the place where you are now in your life and with this wealth that you've built for yourself and your family, your kids are going to have a very different upbringing than you did. So what do you want them to know, or what are you teaching them to set them up for success?
That is the $1 million question. That's awesome. My wife, my amazing wife, we talk about this all the time because she grew up in the projects in Boston. She was the only white kid in her neighborhood. She had cockroaches crawling around on the floors, you know, so we both literally came from nothing. And now, you know, we have a paid off mortgage in a beautiful neighborhood and our kids have 529s and they already have a lot more than we did. And like, we were older parents too. So even our friends, a lot of them don't have kids. So they're buying my kids stuff. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, these kids they just have too much stuff. So we try to limit gifts and presents and stuff like that. But we're really teaching our kids the value of $1, of giving them an allowance that they have to earn. And some of that includes getting up every day at 7 a.m. with their alarm, brushing their teeth, getting dressed. If they don't, I deduct $1. It's $1 a day, $5. If you're not brushing your teeth, minus $1. And they really like their money every Friday, their cash. So it's that. When they get gifts of money, I'm teaching them how to pick stocks in the stock market, and we're buying little shares off of Vanguard. So we have Audrey and Olive. They're my 9-year-olds, right? They each had $500. It was a couple of different gifts from their 8th birthday. Well, Olive put her $500 in Walmart stock. Audrey put her $500 in Target stock. Well, last week, Audrey had $293 and Olive has almost $800. So they're already seeing, like, Olive's going, I've already made $300 off of my $500. Audrey's crying, I thought Target was a good pick. So we sold the Target and then she bought Disney just like 2 days ago. So I'm hoping that Disney, so it's kind of fun for them to see, like, already they're picking stocks, like, and they're 9 years old. But a funny story. So if you live in the Pacific Northwest, there's this really great burger chain called Burgerville.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar.
So friggin' delicious. So a couple weeks ago, Audrey goes, Mama, can we go have Burgerville tonight? And I'm like, oh, honey, no, it is not in the budget because we still have to have a budget or, you know, we'll be broke. And I said, Audrey, it's not in the budget tonight, honey, you know? She goes, well, can't you just sell some stocks? I was like, no, we don't sell stocks. We keep them. But it was just funny. It's like,
do you want to sell your stocks, Audrey?
Exactly. Yeah. I love that they can talk about that. And then we're talking about getting another rental property. And then Audrey goes, are we going to do a 15 or a 30-year mortgage? And I'm like, how do you know about that? She goes, Susie Orman podcast. I listened to all the podcasts in the car, and they're on their iPads, you know, on road trips. I'm thinking they're not listening. Guess what? All those kids are listening. They know your voice, Annie. They know your voice. They know Jean Chatsky. They know Susie Orman. They know Susie Orman's wife, KT. They go, is that KT? I'm like, yeah. So am I brainwashing my children? Maybe a little bit. But yeah, they're going to have very different life no matter what. But I really try to teach them to be respectful too. I take my kids into 7-Eleven to buy a Slurpee like once a month. Every child says thank you to that cashier when they walk out the door. And the cashiers usually are like, whoa, kids don't ever say thank you. I'm like, my kids do. And my kids hold the door for people when we go to swimming lessons. If there's anyone behind them, they know to scoot over and to open the door. So I think it's just those little things that you teach your kids just to they're going to be contributing members of society. They're going to be respectful. Hopefully, I pray to God that my kids are going to be the kid that if another kid's getting bullied at school, they're going to go up to him and be like, let me be your friend. You know, like, let me be that one person that is going to be in your corner and have your back.
Yeah. And frankly, that kindness, that compassion, that consideration, there's no amount of money that, I mean, it's priceless. And that's what's going to take these kids for the next generation. That's what's going to set them apart and take them really far in life. And I love that they're talking about stocks and mortgages at such a young age. How cool. And how cool that they're able to make some of those decisions and mistakes while they're living at home. And they get to do it with a little bit of money here and there. But they feel the ramifications so that when they go out into the world, they have that experience. And now they're not doing it with $500. They're doing it with $10,000, $20,000, $50,000. They're building it on the mistakes that they've already learned through, navigated through. And so what a special, special gift.
Thank you.